Do you think luxury travel is out of reach? Think again. In this episode, I'm joined by Megan Lanford, travel rewards coach and host of the Points to Paradise podcast. Megan breaks down exactly how she went from barely affording one vacation a year to taking 6 luxury trips annually. We walk through the step-by-step process of travel hacking, including the smartest cards to use, how to avoid debt, and how to earn major sign-up bonuses that can cover full vacations without breaking the bank. If you've got travel on your vision board, but your budget hasn't caught up yet, this episode is full of doable strategies to get you flying first class faster than you think. Welcome to the Manifestation and Money podcast, the show where we tackle the taboo topics of money and manifestation. I'm your host, Jenny Schultz, former 9-to-5 grinder who ditched the status quo and went all in on creating a life I love. Yes, I use manifestation. Yes, I took action. And yes, I created a 7-figure net worth before turning 40. Every week, I'll bring you inspiring stories with money mavens and manifestation masters. From learning how to make more, save more, and grow your wealth to unlocking the power of manifesting your dream life. I am so excited to play in this space with you. Let's jump into creating a life you love. Welcome to the Manifestation and Money podcast, Megan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I am pumped to have you on today because, like we just said in our preliminary chat, people love to travel and it's on people's vision boards, but usually coming with travel, there is a huge price tag with that. But you're going to give us some workarounds today. So I would love for you to share with the listeners just who you are and what your story is.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Megan Lanford. I'm the owner of Points to Paradise, and I teach women how to travel and vacation for free using credit card points. I, like we were just saying, love to travel, always had it on my vision board, but really limited myself on where I could go. We were like the typical family that could barely afford one vacation a year. We would save up all year for that one trip, book the Holiday Inn and a cheap Southwest flight, and just felt really restricted on that vacation. And I wanted more abundance in my life. I was pregnant with my daughter, and we just wanted a better life for her. We wanted to be able to take her on vacations. We had this goal, me and my husband, that on a Friday, if we decided, hey, let's go to Disney this weekend, we could be able to do that. And so we dove into the world of credit card points. And now my daughter has been on tons of vacations, flown first class, stayed on all inclusives, and just has had such an amazing childhood. We now get to take 6 trips a year and save over $20,000 doing it. And I'm just so passionate about teaching other people to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, what a stark difference in having the budget vacation. Now you're having these 6 vacations to start with. That's a lot in a year. So for somebody who's intrigued and it's like, oh, travel points, what does a newbie beginner need to know about travel points?
Yeah, it's actually really simple. It is just pretty much putting your debit card away in your wallet and not using it. I have not used my debit card in over 3 years. We're buying gas and groceries and all of the things every single day. And if you're using a debit card, you're quite literally losing out on thousands of dollars every single day by using that debit card. If we just strategically switched over to a credit card that's earning us travel points, there's Chase, there's American Express, there's so many options. You can be earning points that are worth thousands of dollars worth of travel every single day. And then that's just paying off your credit card in full every single month. We're not accumulating any debt, any interest, no late fees, nothing like that. And just being really smart with the money you're already spending to allow you to travel.
Okay, so you're using the credit card like the debit card because you're only buying things that you have the money in your bank account to cover.
Yes.
Okay, because that would
Yeah.
be a mindset shift, I think, for some people who are very, well, kind of debt adverse because you're putting your money on a credit card and getting that
Mhm.
one bill at the end of the month. That can feel overwhelming. Do you have any just mindset tips for anybody who struggles with the idea of that?
Yeah, definitely. Before you even start, I recommend everyone sit down and look at your family's monthly budget. I use a budgeting app every single day. So if I buy my gas, I put that into my budgeting app so I can see where my spend is that month and really sticking to that. So we're not going on a shopping spree. We're not spending any extra money that we have. We're sticking to the categories. And when you swipe that credit card, it's really that shift of this is the money that is in my account and I'm not spending anything extra. So being conscious about what is in your checking account because it's still coming out at the end of the month. If you're someone who doesn't want to see that huge bill at the end of the month, you can pay it off every single week if you wanted to. So it's in smaller chunks. But yeah, it's just really thinking like this is the money that I have to spend, and using a budget app really helps.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Can you share what your favorite strategy is that you like to use?
Yeah, so the whole thing that works the best is getting what we call sign-up bonuses with these credit cards. So if you just had one credit card in your wallet that you spend on all year long, you're going to maybe get 1x to 2x points per dollar spent on that card all year long. So you're looking at maybe 80,000 points for a whole year. When you sign up for a new credit card, though, they are incentivizing you. The banks want your business. And so they say when you spend a certain amount of money in a certain time frame, this can look like $4,000 in the first 3 months, $3,000 in the first 3 months. We're going to give you a large chunk of points, like 50 to 200,000 points. So you're getting a lot of points for not spending a lot of money. Most Americans can spend 4,000 in the first 3 months of getting a credit card just by, like we said, buying your gas and groceries, and you're going to get a large chunk of points that those amount of points could get you an entire vacation right there just from one card. So not everybody needs to go get tons of credit cards. I am a little crazy and I have over 13 credit cards in my wallet. I get a new card about every 3 months. Don't worry, I have no credit card debt and I have a credit score of over 800. But that's how we travel so much, is just accumulating these sign up bonuses and really maximizing on those points. If you're someone who just wants to take 1 or 2 family vacations a year, you can totally get by with 2 credit cards every single year. But that's really the way that you can maximize on the strategy.
How do you manage or keep track of 13 credit cards?
So, really what you're doing is you're only spending on the credit card that you just got most recently to try and hit that sign up bonus. So I'm not spending across the board on 13 credit cards. There's also an app that I recommend everyone get when they do this. It's the Travel Freely app. It's completely free. It doesn't hook up to your bank account, which I really like. And you just can put in the credit cards that you have. And so it keeps everything really organized for you and lets you know which ones get you more on gas and which one gets you more on groceries, the sign up bonuses. And it just keeps track of everything really good because I'm not a very organized person, so if I can do this, anybody can.
Right. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that 13 cards, just for in the sense of, is it like, because you think of the main credit card companies, I can think of five off the top of my head, and then I kind of tap out at what else is there. But is it like your grocery store specific credit card, or how do you find all of these different credit cards?
Yeah, so there's 4 major banks, Chase, Capital One, American Express, and Citi, that really offer these travel point credit cards. I don't recommend like the cashback cards or the Amazon or Costco cards. Like they're not going to give you as much value as these travel points credit cards. If you go to my website, I have all of the travel credit cards out there that you could imagine picking from. So it's a really good one website just to get them all. But all 4 of these banks allow you to use your points for hotels, airlines, Airbnbs, cruise ships, you name it, whatever your family's travel goals are, there's a way to use these points. And it sounds crazy because there's only 4 banks really that offer these travel point credit cards, but there's so many credit cards within each of those banks that I've been doing this for 4 years now, and there's still tons of credit cards that I don't even have in my wallet, and I probably will never run out of options.
Okay. So yes, so there are the main holders, but within that, there's different rewards types of credit cards that they offer. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense. Thank you
exactly.
for answering that because my brain was stuck on that for a sec. And obviously, you're paying annual fees on all of these credit cards, and the costs outweigh the travel perks that you get.
Yeah, so most of them have travel fee annual fees. There are a few that have $0 annual fees. When you're first starting, I really recommend starting with a low annual fee card. My favorite one that I think everyone should start with is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. It's only a $95 annual fee, and you're going to get 60,000 points for that. And keeping it really low, I see so many people that are like, oh, yeah, I have a travel credit card. I have the American Express Platinum, which is a $700 annual fee. And they maybe take one vacation a year. And I'm like, you're not using the benefits. It doesn't make sense. So when you sign up for a card, look at the annual fee, and all the cards come with lots of perks. So you might get baggage insurance, travel insurance, lounge access at airports. You might get credits here and there. Look at all of that plus the amount of points that'll be worth in cash and see if that outweighs the credit card annual fee. And most of the time they will, especially with the sign up bonus, that Chase card. If you get 60,000 points, that's worth at least $600, more like 15 to $2,000, and you're paying $95. So would you pay $95 for $2,000 worth of travel? Most people would. So most of the time they will outweigh them.
Okay, fascinating. And when somebody starts out trying to apply these principles, how long does it typically take for a person to, and I'm sure there's different price ranges, but the average to save up for their first trip or to use the points towards their first trip?
Yeah, it like you said, it really depends. If you're just trying to go on a domestic trip to Florida with your family or something, you can easily do that in 3 months. If you're looking on flying over to Italy in first class and you want to stay over for a week, like it's going to take a little bit longer. You're looking at probably 6 months to 12 months. But for the most part, all of my students within the first 3 months have enough points to go on their first vacation.
Wow, that's neat.
So attainable.
Yeah, that does feel attainable, and it makes it kind of exciting for that element of
Mhm.
travel, and I imagine almost gamify it in a sense, right? You're like, "I've got these points.
Yeah.
What can I do with them?" As you're planning things out, and Airbnbs are on the list now too. I didn't realize that travel points could be used towards Airbnbs.
Yeah,
So
it's really like whatever you want it for. I have people who use it for their Disney tickets. Like there's so many ways that you can use these points. Yeah, it's really fun. It's pretty much a game is what my students say. It's like a hobby of theirs to figure out, okay, now where do I want to go next?
yeah, that's fascinating. So you've manifested this really cool life where travel is a huge piece of it for you now. And your daughter's young and she's already probably traveled to more places than most people do in a lifetime of travel by doing 6 trips a year.
Yeah.
Do you have any like mindset or goal setting or visualization? Do you have any techniques that you do in your lifestyle to play into manifesting?
Yeah, I always was the person that had a trip on their vision board every single year. I even joined network marketing, hoping to earn a trip so that I could take it because it felt so unattainable for travel. And I never let myself dream of the places. And that's the great thing about travel points is there's really no destination that's off limits. Like you can go anywhere in the world that you want. So I like this little hack is just sitting down and writing down your dream bucket list of places that you want to go in your lifetime and don't set any limits. Like you can go to Bora Bora and stay in overwater bungalows or go on like a jungle safari in Africa and an all-inclusive resort. Like whatever you want, just start writing them all down on a dream list. And it really just opens up and activates that abundance in you because you see what's possible and you really start dreaming. So don't just say, "Oh, I want to go to California and stay in the Holiday Inn." Like really get expansive and start dreaming of where you want to go because it is possible.
Fun. I've got Bora Bora with the overwater bungalows on my vision board.
I
Is
love it.
the Yeah, what's the funnest trip that you've done so far using points?
Probably we went to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico in October and it was an all-inclusive resort on the beach. It had its own private beach. We paid $0 to stay at this resort. They gave us a room upgrade. It would have cost us $1,200 to stay in that room, and we got it completely free. But the best part was my daughter, she's 2.5, and she got to release baby sea turtles on the beach. They had them at the resort that had just hatched, and so she's still talking about the sea turtles. And it was just like a core memory that we'll probably never forget
Mhm.
because she's still just talking about it, and it's just a great family memory.
Yeah, and let's just go there for a second, traveling with kids, because it's not easy. For me, I had this dream of going back and forth to Mexico, then I had 2 kids, and then we just bought a lake property 25 minutes from my doorstep. Because 'cause I'm like, travel is trickier with kids. Do you have any
Yes.
travel tips for traveling, especially with young kiddos?
Yeah, it really I've learned is just a mindset shift because I always thought like traveling with kids is so hard and she's going to be horrible on the plane. And the more you do it, the more they get acclimated to it. Kids are more resilient than we really give them credit for. We just took her to Hawaii in January and I was in my head so nervous about the flight because that was 7 hours of her having to sit still. and she did amazing. She was great the whole time. And so obviously bringing all the toys on the plane, I bring her sticker books and coloring books and interactive toys I'll buy on Amazon, and I don't let her see them until we are on the plane. So everything's really new to her. So that's always great. But kids really just are so resilient when they travel. They will accommodate to anything. The other thing, if you do have a toddler, I bring a blow up bed that I got on Amazon. So she has her own bed when we travel, and that really helps as well. I tell her it's bedtime and she crawls into her little travel bed and goes to sleep. And so it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about the crib or the pack and play or putting them in the bed with you or whatever. So that's a really good travel tip I like to use as well.
I'm just curious for you. So, how has creating more travel experiences for your family changed the way you view money now or view financial freedom?
Yeah, it has changed so much, especially coming from I was very scarcity mindset, money mindset before. Like I said, it just really opens up that like abundance factor for you. And now if we have a big expense, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow and it's going to be $1,500. Before I would have been, "Oh my gosh, like, that's so expensive," and now that's worth probably $2,000 worth of travel. I'm gonna get so much more out of that purchase and get to go on an amazing vacation that I'm not gonna forget, so it's okay, and so it really makes those bigger purchases not seem so bad, and you have so much more abundance coming out of those purchases. So it really has changed the way I think about things. The first time we ever stayed at, like, a luxury resort, I remember pulling up and being like, "Oh my gosh, like, we don't belong here, like, this is everybody's fancy and probably, like, doctors and lawyers," and now I'm just like, "Yeah, I deserve to be at this five-star resort. I'm just as great as everybody else is," and so it really has shifted our mindset a lot around money and really the life that we're meant to live.
Yeah, I love that. I love hearing those little mindset shifts because once you have them, very typically you don't revert back. You're operating from a
Yeah,
new level now. Oh, look at me. I'm here. I'm doing the thing. I belong here.
yeah.
I would love for you to share how you work with people and help them achieve their travel goals.
Yeah, so my main program is the Travel Points Academy. It is a full course of everything you need to know on travel points from what card to get to how to book your vacation. And we have a great community inside of there so that while you're actually learning how to use points, we're planning and booking your actual vacations and helping you come up with destinations and plan. So watching all the women take their vacations and post their pictures, and we hop on a call once a month and just go over everything. It's just such a great community, and you get to actually take vacations. You don't just learn how to use points and not use that information ever again. You're actually using it every single day.
And probably inspired by you seeing the peers around you doing it too,
Yeah.
right? You see them saving up
Mm,
and you see them planning, and then you probably hear about the
yeah.
trip that they went on, and that would
Yeah.
be really
Yeah, we're
cool.
we're always, like, knocking off ideas off of each other and be like, "Okay, like, where should I go next? Where have you guys gone before? Where did you like?" And so, yeah, it's really more of a masterminding of vacation planning with learning points.
I love that. And can you share with the listeners where they can reach out and find you?
Yeah, I have a podcast as well called Points to Paradise, so definitely go listen over there, and you can follow me on Instagram at Points to Paradise as well. So, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me on the show today, Megan. I know travel is such a huge piece of people's abundance journey to step into having the funner things in life and to be able to hear ways of finding access to these luxury places for low to no money is pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, you have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Manifestation and Money podcast. If today's conversation lit a spark in you and you're craving a space to go deeper with your vision, to actually live what you are manifesting, I want to invite you into something really special. It's called the Manifestation Playground, a high vibe monthly membership where you get to experiment with manifestation techniques, connect in intimate pods of like-minded people, and receive direct mentorship from me twice a month inside our cozy Zoom room. This is where your dream life stops living in your journal and starts showing up in your reality. Vision, energy, accountability, it's all happening inside the Manifestation Playground, and your group might be forming right now. Just head to www.manifestationplayground.ca or click on the link in the show notes to learn more and save your seat. And remember, your vision isn't random. It is your future waiting for you to believe in it. I'll see you next time or inside the playground.